When it comes to the cattle industry publications, the Angus Journal serves as the go-to guide for the Angus business. Here we look at some of the top stories you may have missed.
Welcome back to the Angus Report. I'm Crystal Albers. I'm here with Casey Miller. Casey's the Associate Editor of the Angus Journal. And Casey, the Angus Journal's hitting mailboxes right as we speak. Tell us about the July issue.
Yes, the Angus Journal is the official publication of the business breed. So we are the voice of the Angus breed, kind of as a liaison between the association and our producers. And we really strive to keep content in that's going to help producers increase their profitability. And so this July issue is focused on feeding and feedstuffs.
And this issue not only addresses some of the economics, it also talks about some other aspects of feeding that people should keep in mind.
Right. One of the features is managing wet distillers grains and its effect on E. coli prevalence. There was a group of researchers who wanted to look at how wet distillers grains, how that affects the rumen. It decreases the acidity, so E. coli becomes more prevalent. And so they wanted to look at how can you manage feeding that, because it is a great feeding option that's cost efficient. And so what timing needs to be changed with feeding wet distillers grains that can decrease the prevalence of E. coli, but also make it cost effective to feed your cattle.
What are some of the other features that people should watch for?
One that affects consumers is about how what you feed to cattle can increase the omega-3 fatty acids, that heart-healthy fatty acid that people who are very health conscious are very aware of. And so it kind of gives grain-fed cattle producers the option to produce that omega-3 enriched beef, but still feed their cattle grain. We also have another story that talks about forages, how to balance forage quality versus forage yield. And then another one of different options for producers to keep in mind when they are thinking about what am I going to feed my cattle, especially with corn prices so high. There are a lot of different options, so it's nice to know that those are out there.
So the journal's focused for every type of breeder, from beginners to the more advanced seed stock producer.
Right. A lot of times we try to keep in columns that can address any type of producer. Sally Northcutt always writes a by the numbers column, and this month is more geared towards those beginner producers of why should you use EPDs, why those can be beneficial to your herd and your production management. And then again, she also writes for the database information and how more advanced producers can really use that to their advantage.
And if someone wants to subscribe to the journal, where should they go?
They should go to theangusjournal.com, and there's a subscribe tab on the top, or they can also call the API office at 816-383-5200.
All right, well, there's certainly a lot of good stuff in the July issue.
Great.
We'll be looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.